what you're hearing is exactly what was heard, yeah. And ain't it nice flying high with the dirty bird?
3, 2, 1, go.
A welterweight scrap here, meet. We got the great white Alex Morono taking on Tim Means business, and Tim Means, what can you say? The dude is an OG. Gotta always rep the Dirty Bird. The guy is a legend out there for sure, but it's been a rough couple years, you can say. I mean, he's lost 2 straight, lost to Max Payne Griffin, and that was a split decision, but one that I thought probably should have been unanimous for Max Griffin. A fight that Max looked pretty well in, and before that, he got submitted by Kevin Holland. It was in the second round, beautiful Darce choke, and he had strung together some nice wins before that, right? He beat Nicholas Dalby, he smoked Mike Perry, and kind of sent him to become the BKFC legend, and then also had that nice win over Lariano Staropoli. So it was looking good for a while for Tim Means, but he's just hit that rough stretch recently, and it makes sense. The guy is getting older. He's 39 years old. He is about a plus 200 dog in this one, and has basically 50 professional fights. So he's been there, done that, absorbed a lot of damage meanwhile, though. And he's taken on a much younger great white Alex Morono, who has won 3 of 4. And the fight he just had most recently against Ponzinibbio, it was a very great fight for him, if you really think about it. I mean, it was only in December of last year, so about 4 or 5 months ago. And I don't think Alex Morono has ever looked better than he did in that fight. And on the judges' scorecards, he won round 1, he won round 2, and had he just survived a couple more minutes in the third round, he would have walked away with a split decision victory. But Ponzinibbio crawled back and was able to sleep him with some late third round meat bombs. And it was unfortunate to see, right? Because it seemed like Morono was finally peaking, about to get his 5th straight win. The dude's only 32 years old, and boom, out of nowhere, Pons just retrieves himself and is able to get that one done late. So a little step back for the Great White, but this seems like a very winnable fight and name brand opportunity against Tim Means. I mean, a lot of people know who Tim Means is. So are you going to take the Great White to rebound technically from that recent KO setback, or is Tim Means just going to show Morono that while Morono is improving, he still quite isn't on the Dirty Birds level?
Yeah, this is a great fight, great matchup. It makes sense though. Moderate favorite, Alex Morono. He's been looking great, Did coming off that loss, but he was dominating the fight till he got finished, to be honest. So I gotta go with the Great White. Gotta go with Tapology. I think he wins. Great decision. Wouldn't surprise me if he gets KO. This just seems like a setup for Moreno. I mean, he's 32 years young. I feel like he's been in the game for a while, but he does seem like he's been improving, and he looks great and is looking sharp. So I think he gets it done unanimous, or maybe later in the fight, TKO. I think this might be the Dirty Bird's last fight, sad to say, but he's either going to BKFC or retiring as a Dirty Bird.
Yeah, if the Dirty Bird does end up in BKFC, then that could actually be pretty entertaining, because Dirty Bird is always down to come and stand and bang, and perhaps he does find a solid home there for sure. And you mentioned the improvements of Morono. I felt like it was once he got that fight against Cowboy Cerrone about 2 years ago now. I feel like that was really the turning point for Morono, and that was when he went on his win streak. Because when he was able to pick up an early, pretty easy finish over a legend like Cowboy, I think it really gave him a lot of confidence and showed him that he's a very well-known jiu-jitsu coach in his community, and he's got a lot of guys working under him. And it seemed like at that fight he realized, oh wow, I'm actually a very, not only just an elite coach, but an elite MMA UFC fighter as well. Because a win over Cowboy shows you that you can beat the best in the world, even if it was Cowboy on the downturn of his career. But nonetheless, again, he's improving every fight, like you said, and he's going to be a lot younger. There is going to be a slight reach and height disadvantage for him against the Dirty Bird, but most of Tapology doesn't think it's going to be an issue. 89% is rolling with the Great White. There is some ground for that KO. If you were to place a prop, would you think it's more likely that Morono wins a decision in this one, or perhaps he gets another finish?
I think it'll be a late round finish, just because Dirty Bird, coming off those losses, not looking the sharpest. Age is not his friend, and Moreno has been getting some nice finishes, and he's got that power, so he definitely could get it done. This is a great opponent to get it done, an older veteran, so would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, I feel you for sure. I think I'm going to go Morono. I like him probably by decision, though. Maybe he does get that late finish, like you said, and you'll probably be getting some juicy beef for a round 2 or round 3 KO slash TKO. Maybe even sub for Morono, because, again, the dude is a serious black belt. And, we touched on Max Payne Griffin, and obviously, MMA math, you can attach as much weight to it as you want, but Max Payne Griffin got absolutely smoked by Morono, and that was a couple of years back. And again, we saw what Payne just did recently to the Dirty Bird. And another most recent win, the most recent win for Morono was against Semi the Jedi. And that was a fight where Semi the Jedi was the bigger guy, similar to how Tim Means will be the bigger guy in this fight. But nonetheless, Great White kind of swallowed him whole. So you don't really ever know what you're getting from Semi the Jedi. Sometimes he's the GOAT, sometimes he's the worst. But nonetheless, another great win for the Great White. So I'm with you, me. I'm going to take Morono. I like him by decision. I'd be lying if I said I won't check out that round 3 TKO sub, though, because you might be onto something. Any last thoughts?
No, 100%. Throw the comment. You guys taking? Are you taking the Dirty Bird or Lionheart Anthony Smith's younger brother, the Great White?